Welcome to Hero Villains. What do you think when Black Bolt first Thragg, the battle between the destructive voice and the tyrant of Viltrum? The universe is a noisy place of wars, threats, and declarations of conquest. But what happens when the strongest being is the silent one, and the loudest one is the tyrant of an empire conquering the stars? On one side is Black Bolt, Blackagar Boltagon, king of the Inhumans, who holds the most terrifying destructive weapon, his own voice. A mere whisper can level a city, and a scream can shake an entire planet. On the other side is Thragg, Grand Regent of the Viltrum Empire, the pinnacle of a conquering race, bred and trained from birth to be the ultimate warrior, who tore Omni-Man apart and crushed Battle Beast. Black Bolt carries within him the power of electrons, of absolute silence heralding wrath. Thragg carries within him the power of millennia of conquest, unrelenting brutality, and an unyielding will. When the voice of destruction confronts the fist of the Empire, who will fall? In the universe exists a superhuman race known as the Inhumans. Hidden from the human world, they live in Adalin, a city of advanced technology, and are ruled by a king who has never spoken a single word. That is Blackagar Boltagon, better known as Black Bolt. Black Bolt's fate was sealed before he even uttered his first cry. As the son of Adelin's two leading geneticists, Agon and Rinda, Black Bolt was exposed to the Terrigen Mist while still in the womb. As a result, he carries within him a power far exceeding any other Inhumans, but also a curse. The language center in his brain is directly linked to his ability to manipulate electrons. Any sound he makes, even the slightest, will trigger a destructive shockwave with the destructive power equivalent to a nuclear weapon. A whisper can sink an entire fleet. A scream can level a mountain. To protect his kingdom, he spent the first 19 years of his life isolated in a soundproof chamber, training his mind to never produce any sound, even in his sleep. Upon returning, he communicates through sign language and rules in absolute silence. But do not let that silence fool you. Black Bolt is one of the most powerful beings in Marvel. He can manipulate energy, fly at speeds of 500 miles per hour, create a nearly impenetrable force field, and deliver the master blow. A punch that concentrates all his electron energy into a single point. He was a member of the Illuminati, standing shoulder to shoulder with Earth's most brilliant minds, and faced cosmic entities like Thanos. Black Bolt is not just a man, he is a walking nuclear reactor. And now, join me in dissecting the skill set of this Inhuman king. Black Bolt's voice can level a city, destroy cosmic armadas, and even shake an entire planet. Its destructive power is not just sound, it is the disruption of the electron particle field, generating shockwaves at the atomic level. This is a wide area attack that is nearly impossible to dodge. Inhuman physiology grants Black Bolt strength far beyond ordinary humans. But what is more terrifying is his ability to channel electron energy into his muscles, to increase his strength to even more monstrous levels. The Master Blow, the punch converging all his energy, is one of the most powerful physical strikes in the Marvel Universe, having felled extraordinarily powerful opponents. Black Bolt is extremely durable. He possesses superhuman speed, stamina, and reflexes. More importantly, he has the ability to generate a nearly impenetrable electron force field around his body, sufficient to withstand physical and cosmic level energy attacks. Black Bolt can manipulate surrounding particles and electrons, fire concussive energy blasts from his hands, and fly at a maximum speed of 500 miles per hour via anti-gravity fields. In Secret Invasion and many other arcs, Black Bolt has repeatedly stood before Thanos the Mad Titan with power approaching the cosmic level and not only survived, but also inflicted significant damage. His scream generated damage that almost no one else could achieve against Thanos without the gauntlet. In a direct confrontation, Black Bolt faced World War Hulk, the angriest and most powerful version of Hulk, and while the outcome of that battle was ambiguous, he demonstrated the ability to withstand the rage of the Green Goliath. On a planetary scale, it has been recorded that Black Bolt's full-force scream can generate concussive force sufficient to affect celestial bodies in space, not directly destroying a planet, but creating shockwaves that can fracture the geology of a small planet. When Black Bolt uses his full-force scream at close range, everything around him is destroyed. This means he requires a certain distance to fight effectively without harming himself. Paradoxically, Black Bolt's weakness lies in his own most powerful weapon. He cannot fully control his voice. Using it requires him to break his vow of silence. And after using a full force attack, he becomes extremely exhausted and vulnerable. Furthermore, there are entities strong enough to withstand his voice and counterattack. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. That will help us a lot, and you are the most wonderful person. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about Thragg, Grand Regent of Viltrum. In the Invincible universe, there is a race considered the nightmare of the entire galaxy, the Viltrumite. And among the Viltrumite warriors, beings who can pierce through planets with their bare bodies, there is one who stands above all. He is not just the strongest, he is the embodiment of pure bloodline, of brutality honed over thousands of years. That is Thragg. Born to rule, Thragg was trained from birth to become the ultimate warrior. His parents were the strongest Viltrumites, and the blood flowing in his veins is the crystallization of the purest strength. When Emperor Argal was assassinated, Thragg partook in the bloody Viltrumite civil war and emerged as the absolute victor. He became Grand Regent, seizing control of the Empire and leading them on a crusade to conquer the universe. If Omni-Man is a fearsome warrior, then Thragg is an entirely different monster. He is many times stronger than Nolan Grayson. He easily defeated Omni-Man and Invincible at the same time. Tore Thetis, who killed Emperor Argal apart with one hand, and fought Battle Beast, a creature considered a pure destruction machine, for days on end before claiming victory. What makes Thragg terrifying is not just his strength, but the combination of that strength with a genius military intellect and an unbreakable will. He is not just a destroyer, he is a strategist, a true conqueror. When his body was burned down to the bone on the surface of the sun, he still did not stop fighting. Thragg is the evolutionary peak of the Viltrumite race, possessing physical strength nearly unrivaled in his universe. Thragg belongs to the Class Z and Dwarf Star level category. He can tear other Viltrumites apart with his bare hands, destroy planets, and deliver punches with destructive force equivalent to a Dwarf Star. He effortlessly defeated Omni-Man, who once destroyed the planet Viltrum, and beat Battle Beast in a battle lasting many days. Thragg can move at massively FTL plus speeds many times faster than light. He can traverse across galaxies in a matter of days. In combat, this speed is a terrifying advantage, allowing him to attack and evade at a level most opponents cannot perceive. Thragg's body can withstand Dwarf Star level attacks. He has survived planetary explosions, endured the sun's temperature for a short period, and is nearly impervious to all conventional weapons. Viltrumites possess extremely rapid self-healing abilities. Thragg can recover from serious injuries like fractures and organ tears in a short time as long as his heart and brain are not completely destroyed. Thragg is a military genius with millennia of conquest experience. He is not just strong, he is also extremely intelligent and cunning in battle, always seeking to exploit his opponent's weaknesses. Nolan Grayson was one of the strongest Viltrumites, and the father of Invincible. When Nolan refused to obey the Viltrumite Empire, Thragg took matters into his own hands. That battle had no grand name, no Hollywood-style drama. Thragg was simply superior and systematically defeated Omni-Man, leaving him in critical condition. Thragg defeated Mark Grayson or nearly killed Invincible in almost all of their encounters, even at times when Mark had significantly leveled up. After retreating to Tiger's world, Thragg did not just hide, he bred and trained a new generation of Viltrumite warriors in record time, preparing for the next conquest. This is evidence of his long-term strategic intellect. Strength does not diminish with age. Unlike many other warriors, Thragg becomes stronger over time. Viltrumites age very slowly and accumulate strength over centuries. Thragg is at the peak of that process. Viltrumites have one fatal weakness. Their inner ear is extremely sensitive to specific sound frequencies. A sufficiently strong frequency can disrupt their sense of balance, cause extreme pain, and even kill them. Furthermore, exposure to extreme heat like the sun for an extended period will weaken and ultimately destroy them. And now for the direct comparison and battle analysis. Destructive power. Black Bolt has the advantage. His voice is a weapon of mass destruction. It is not just a punch, it is a wall of energy spreading in all directions, nearly impossible to dodge. If Black Bolt screams at Thragg at close range, it will be an attack with destructive force equivalent to a focused nuclear weapon. Speed Thragg dominates. This is the biggest difference. While Black Bolt can fly at speeds of 500 miles per hour, Thragg can move many times faster than light. In a fight, Thragg can close the distance and deliver hundreds of punches before Black Bolt can even open his mouth. And each of those punches carries dwarf star level strength, enough to pierce through the force field and cause fatal damage. Weakness. Black Bolt possesses exactly the weapon that can exploit Thragg's greatest weakness. His voice is not just a shockwave, it is sound at a terrifying energy level. The Viltrumite inner ear is a fatal weak point against sound frequencies. A scream from Black Bolt will not only strike Thragg's body, it will bombard his inner ear with monstrous intensity, causing disorientation and extreme pain, disabling his ability to fly and maintain balance. If Thragg knows about Black Bolt's power in advance, with his speed and ruthlessness, he will try to end the fight instantly, charging in at FTL speed and punching through Black Bolt's head before he can even breathe. But if Black Bolt manages to create his force field and utter even a single syllable, the nightmare will descend upon Thragg. He can survive a planetary explosion, but a sound attack with a destructive frequency aimed directly at his biological weakness will bring him down. This is truly a fight that can end in a flash, tipping in favor of whoever strikes first. Thragg is stronger, faster, and more durable than Black Bolt in every physical aspect. He is a destruction machine forged over thousands of years. However, Black Bolt is the natural nemesis of Thragg. The reason lies in the Viltrumite's fatal biological weakness. Black Bolt's power is not just physical force, it is destruction by sound. And that is precisely what can disable and kill Thragg. The strongest armor, the mightiest muscles, or the most resilient will cannot protect his inner ear from a shockwave that can level a mountain range. Of course, if Thragg capitalizes on his FTL speed to launch a preemptive strike, he could finish Black Bolt instantly. But if the king of the Inhumans gets a single moment to break his silence, then everything will end. In a direct confrontation where both are aware of each other, the whisper of death will always be faster. In this encounter, Black Bolt holds the decisive advantage thanks to the destructive power of his voice, something Thragg finds difficult to counter completely. Even though Thragg is the symbol of physical strength, the silent roar of Black Bolt is enough to end the Viltrumite Empire. And that is our analysis of the battle between the Inhuman King and the Viltrumite Tyrant. A fight whose outcome can be decided by just a single syllable. What do you think? Is Thragg's monstrous speed enough for him to silence Black Bolt before he can make a sound? Or will Black Bolt's electron force field hold up long enough for him to whisper the final judgment? And if both unleash their strongest attacks, the Master Blow versus the planet-piercing punch, what would happen?
Let us know your thoughts by commenting down below. If you enjoy epic showdowns between comic universes, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And remember to follow us. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next battles.